I have a specific example of someone that worked here that has said something very similar to her.
Oh, interesting. Okay, It can't be your nephew because he has no self-awareness. But anyway, let me continue with the rest of her statement.
She made me lose respect for anyone that has ever worked with her that I had a ounce of respect for, by the way, because like they are so blind sometimes.
Jeez, Hasan really just got cooked. It's like nobody likes this guy anymore. Kasparian just threw some hilarious shade at Hasan in what was at first kinda sly, but she eventually just said what we have all been thinking. The Young Turks recently just dropped a video entitled Maya Hawk Responds to Being Called a Nepo Baby, where Kasparian pretty clearly points the finger at one of the biggest Nepo babies she knows, Mr. Hasan Piker. Let's take a look.
While most Nepo babies like to deny that they've been given incredible opportunities in life without necessarily earning it because of nepotism, one actress named Maya Hawk just gave all those other stars a masterclass in how to respond to the Nepo baby allegations. She says, yeah, I'm a Nepo baby and I accept it.
Now, I have a specific example of someone that worked here that has said something very similar to her.
Oh, interesting. Okay, It can't be your nephew because he has no self-awareness. But anyway, let me continue with the rest of her statement. I saw two paths when I was first starting, and one of them was change your name, get a nose job, and go to open casting roles.
Now, the other person that worked here that has said very similar things is Ben Mankiewicz. We had a large conversation about that in a recent Old School episode. Old School is a podcast that we do together. If you're a member, tyt.com/team.
Sheesh. Shots fired. Something tells me Anna doesn't like Hasan very much. And honestly, who could blame her? Anna is 100% correct. Hasan absolutely lacks any self-awareness. I like the part how Anna cut off Cenk assuming it was about Hasan. And when it turned out not to be, Cenk didn't even bother to defend him. 'Cause he knows. He employed this Nepo baby after all, for years in fact. One could even say he is a big reason as to why Hasan would be called a Nepo baby. Apart from the lesser known fact that Hasan's dad was a high-ranking executive of Sabanci Holding, a company with revenue in the hundreds of billions of dollars, and that he has sat on a trade board for Turkey with the former prime minister. If anyone was born with a silver spoon in their mouth, it's Hasan Piker. And something tells me Hasan got word of the shade that's been getting thrown at him by the Young Turks. And he has some choice words for the organization. He has coded it to make it not so obvious. But if you understand the situation, it's not hard to spot the salt.
Yeah, she spent every day for the past 8 months hand-wringing about progressives on the left. She lost their fucking cushy job over at like Progressive Victory. She made me lose respect for anyone that has ever worked with her that I had a fucking ounce of respect for, by the way, because like they are so blind sometimes. I will not be naming any names, but maybe familial relations. It's like ridiculous, dude. It's what are we doing? Like, can you not fucking see how dumb this person is? Like, are you insane? Like, how? I will question anyone. At this point, I will literally question any fucking human being that looks at this dumb chirping for 8 months about everything that Israel has done, trying to do the worst possible job of defending it. If you are like, that's my political operative, like, yeah, you're destined to fucking lose, okay?
Yeah, it's pretty clear. He isn't too happy with everyone at the Young Turks, but he just doesn't want to say it too publicly, as to not start a news cycle about the situation. But you don't have to do much of a thought experiment to figure out what he's talking about. Dude is choked, but what does he have to be choked about? Does he not remember where he came from and who brought him there?
This week's bro tip is about bringing out the alpha male in you. Being an alpha male or a leader of a pack is not something everyone's born with. However, if you do the things I'm about to tell you, your late night weekend fun will be a lot more exciting than catching reruns of Modern Family while facing a quart of Haagen-Dazs.
So as a result, we have brought on bro tip to help demonstrate what the good dance moves are and what the bad dance moves are. So, bro tip, why don't we start off with what women do not find attractive?
In the name of credible journalism.
Yes.
All right.
Go.
So this is what women do not find attractive.
He's doing a pretty good job.
It's kind of
That does look
amazing.
like the animation. That's funny. And I can see why women do not find that attractive.
That is actually 90% of guys at clubs. It's kind of amazing.
It is.
Cenk Uygur, the founder, the host, a person I'm related to by blood, he will be here defending capitalism.
God, Hasan is such a joke. Dude is literally a walking parody of someone trying to rebel against daddy, only to become exactly what he has always hated. How people support this guy unironically is beyond me. Even the people that have brought him to where he is today can't stand him. Even his own viewers can't stand him anymore, which is exactly why his view count has fallen off of a cliff. Do you guys remember the Hasan TYT days? Hasan actually used to do a show with Anna Kasparian, and they appeared to get along fairly well. So either she was always biting her tongue about him and just now got the courage to start talking about it, or Hasan has just been so horrible over the years that this opinion of him has grown on her. Let's take a look at how well these two used to get along.
Want to know what you think, Haas? Make your point.
I used to be fat, so I have like real empathy for this guy. When I saw the picture, especially the second picture, I felt disgusted. And it's awesome that they're doing all this stuff. And 4chan is obviously like notorious for being the gutter of the internet, and so there's no surprise there. But I want to leave on one negative point. It is kind of interesting that right after this happened, they found him online, and then he created a new Twitter for himself called Dancing Man.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he has 83,000 followers, and he only has 14 tweets so far. But it just seemed like he was, I don't know. I mean, I hope the guy is genuine, but I mean, I don't know. Hopefully we don't see like a new internet sensation like the Dancing Man.
But if we do, what's wrong with that? I mean,
it's kind of like he's capitalizing on this
maybe he
situation.
should. Maybe he should.
Sheesh. Well, if you think about it from her perspective for a moment, it's not too hard to see what happened. Like, think about it for a moment here. You got Anna over here busting her ass with Cenk since day one creating the Young Turks. Then you got Nepo baby Hasan over here with daddy's connections, hitting up Cenk and just getting him a position like it's nothing. Only to treat his spot at the company as a joke, creating the pile of garbage that was known as bro tips and the pile of garbage that was agitprop. Only for him to use his relevance that was brought to him by being on this show to start his own streaming career, eventually totally eclipsing her earnings. Honestly, if it was me, I would despise this guy as well. Like, think about it. You devote your whole life to something, only to have this Nepo baby treat you like a stepping stone. I don't even like TYT or Anna, but I could really sympathize with this situation. Whether justified or not, it's not hard to see why Anna is not fond of Hasan. And that's excluding all of the other horrible things about him, of course.